just so amazed at how she makes me feel every day. Little bit of this, little bit of that. She's like a cat scratching up my back. She's got her claws in me now. Accidentally, incidentally, I don't know just how it happened. She's got a groove I respect so well. Don't ask me how it started. I was sitting here so broken hearted, looking for a trace that smile she left on my face. Don't ask me how it does. That's what she 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 does. She can take a frown, turn it upside down and inside out. She can take a hurricane, make the day all nice again. Lives in reality, been there, done that, 1, 2, 3. She can please a man and a few women too. Free and single, likes to mingle with the best of the best. What's your position, mommy? Just a little lower now. That's what she does. 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 Wow. Recognize me now, yeah, that's me over there, trying to get a glimpse of that girl, that girl, that. What am I supposed to do? Cause she's moving and a grooving, cooking up a recipe. Even Sam Choi would like puree, puree, gravy, gravy. She serves it up so well, yeah, my appetite is overwhelming. Give me some desserts, baby, make it hurt, and I'll be back for more of that kick and glide. Give me 2 more tens, we're gonna pick it up again. Number 3, you call it, just keep it smooth. That's what she does. 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 When the dance is over and she comes to me so freely with her arms open wide, she's taking me inside. Watch out, thinking that I had it easy. Then she says, oh please excuse me, who is that guy right behind of you? I was in shock, thinking, hey, what's up? I was tossing and turning, and my girlfriend woke me up. That's what she does. 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 Just, that was Mil Kemp. How's it, everybody? And welcome to the Daily Pigeon. My name's Andy Bumatai.
And I'm James Money.
And we are here again. You have been warned.
Gang, we have a special guest coming in on the second segment, a Dani girl, and she is someone who is very concerned and knowledgeable about mental health having to do with social media. Very interesting topic. She's also involved in 808
Viral.
Viral, and they have how many on Instagram?
They have over 200,000 followers on Instagram.
How's that, right? And she is a social media coach also, so we're gonna have a lot to talk about. But first of all, let's say how's it to the chat people who went show up while. Oh, and I want to try. I want to try something here, guys. Look at this. I put the camera. Oh, junk. Can I see him good? Oh,
I look good.
yeah. Oh, you know why? That's why because it's
Oh, my
focusing
face.
on you and
My
not the
face.
chat.
There
Oh,
you go.
there. Now it's on the. Oh, so if you hide your face, oh, you know what? Then let me do this.
gotta
How's
do that.
this?
Okay.
You know, I don't know how to, I don't know how to make it. Anyway, I tried.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
but anyway, gang. Let's see who's here. We saw Kevin earlier. How's it, Kevin? Deborah coming in from Kentucky. Aloha no. How's it, John? Aloha and how's it, Rick S? Watch out now. There we go. I know we have been warmed. And Johnny Rocks Hollywood. Thanks, Johnny, for all the support. You know, I know you're a busy guy, but yet he manages to be on our show fairly often, right? There we go. And we've done shows with Johnny, of course. And yeah, that's what she does. Isn't that a great tune there? That was Lono leading us in. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, Miles coming in from Boston. What's the who the what? What's what who does? We never did find out. Oh, what are you kidding? Well, I guess you're on your own on that one. If I have to explain it, you wouldn't understand the answer.
That's just what she does.
That's what she does, baby. I know. Hey, Keone Nunes in Thailand, beaming in here. How's it, James? And the Hamajang Gang, Thailand. I am a follower of 808 Viral. Ooh, cool, right there. Nani Aloha, our associate producer and lead moderationist.
Oh, moderationist.
Yeah, that's right. She
Apologies.
moderationizes.
I apologize. I was over moderate.
Right, look at this. Mental health and social media. No can mix 'em. That's all. Okay. All right. So, as for those of you who may have just been joining us, right, what we do is we do this podcast basically, and we have a guest, but at the same time, we make a television show. And how we do that is every once in a while you'll hear me say, okay, let's do the TV show. And then we'll be right back after this. And then that means it's internet. And then, okay, we're back. And that kind of thing. And by the way, if Gary's here, you know, remember he said, wow, those bumpers come in like a hammer. I won't be doing the bumpers. I'm going to add them after the fact. Okay. So we're going to try something new because we're growing and learning. At the same time. Yeah, look at this. Hey, just a kid exploring. How's it, James?
How's it?
Do you know who that is that would be saying hi to you?
I do not.
Oh,
I try to ask questions, but apparently it's just a kid exploring.
he's just exploring. Yeah, he's trying to figure out who does what.
Yeah.
And then he's going to email Miles. Yeah. Facebook user is somebody who's watching on the Daily Pidgin Live group.
Oh, the group.
Yeah. Now there's a link in there somewhere, a Facebook user, where you have to tell Ecamm, yeah, it's okay that we see your name because it's a Facebook group thing. So
that way I know who's calling me a Samoan Titan because I like that.
Where
the Facebook
somebody?
user. The
Facebook user. Facebook user and the Samoan Titan. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry about that. Hey, Edward De Los Santos, one thing that I look from Granbury, Texas. Wow. Cool. And here's Ella coming in once again from Florida. How's it, Ella? Aloha no. Mad Statter lurked a little bit of your stream today. I know, sad the passing of the that photographer thing. Oh, yeah, I know. Okay. Mad Statter has a show, of course, on
Twitch.
And she posts. Oh no, wait! she's simul-blasting on YouTube and Twitch
Oh.
at the same time, same smell. I know. There we go. Coordinating shirts 3 days in a row.
See, I told you. I told you.
He just mentioned that. He goes, it's like we coordinate our shirts.
Which we don't.
We don't.
Because
don't.
we went dark and then went dark brown. And then I was like, oh, let me go light blue. And I sit down. I'm like, he's wearing light blue.
Look, Soju Steve coming in from Dallas, Fort Worth. Thanks, Who dual stream? Yeah, on YouTube and Twitch these days. Yeah, I saw that. Very good. And thank you for mentioning me on. I'm going to ask Andy how to put the chat on the screen. I forgot, but I'm pretty sure I did it through either Restream or Stream Labs or Elements, one of those guys, one of those three. Sorry. Hey, how's it, Steven? This is my old White Knight High School brother right here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think hey, Marty Lovelace, how's it from Reno, the biggest little city in America, right there, Reno. And of course, Reno Ebalera was a good surfer out of Hawaii. Yeah, there we go. Okay, gang, so you know what? If you're just tuning in, what we do is this podcast, and then we cut to television part. Right, so let's do that first segment. In this first segment, we're going to talk about new rules: no right turn on red, on Kapi'olani Boulevard. Okay, we're going to do that. Then we'll come back to the internet, and then on the second segment, we're going to bring in Dani Girl and talk about social media and mental health. Okay. So let's see if I can remember what a TV thing is. Here we go, gang. Everybody, check your teeth, sit up straight, clear your throat. Let's do a TV show.
Hey, how's it? Like a full-time job.
Yeah, good thing neither of us are working.
Yeah. And then tell me what you have. So it's so funny.
I just love that when you look up, Oh, that's great. How's it, everybody? And welcome once again to the Daily Pidgin. My name's Andy Bumatai.
And I'm James Money.
And we got a pretty good show for you today. In this first segment, we're going to talk about new no left turn on red signs in Kapi'olani. And as a former bus driver, I see you already shaking your head.
Already. Even just a regular driver, no right turn on. That's what Hawaii is known for.
Oh, yeah.
You can turn right on red.
Right, and then in the second segment, we're going to introduce Dani Girl, who is going to talk about social media and its effect on your mental health, especially with young people, right? And she's a social media coach and part of 808Viral that has, I understand,
over 200,000 followers on Instagram.
Brian, Cleo.
Imagine that, right? So what we'll do now is I want to play this video so that we can talk a little bit about it. Okay.
Let's.
First of all, again, this was shot on February 14th, 2023. But here we go.
Drivers are complaining about the state's new signs on Ala Moana Boulevard saying no right turn on red.
But the DOT insists the signs can save lives. Our Mahea Lonnie Richardson joins us now with more. Mahea?
Well, Stephen Kiahi, drivers say the no right turn on red signs are slowing down the rush hour commute. So we went for a ride with a commercial driver who takes Ala Moana Boulevard every day.
I know.
On this Valentine's Day, drivers on Ala Moana Boulevard from Waikiki to Kaka'ako are seeing red.
3 cars and this thing turns red.
Did you hear that?
Cobron
3
Lane
cars
in
on
Waikiki
red.
is a hot spot.
LA law.
The arrow is ridiculously quick, and it has us blocked up over here almost every morning when people are trying to get to work.
I've been doing this about 30 years.
Johnny Chang is a shuttle van driver.
Everybody upset about this.
He says the rush hour commute has been a nightmare after the state installed no right turn on red signs at 7 intersections along Ala Moana Boulevard last year.
No right turn on red. What you mean? The traffic just built up during the rush hour.
He says drivers sometimes wait half an hour to get out of the Hobron area. Some go right past the sign.
Oh, nightmare.
The State Department of Transportation says it installed the no right turn on red signs along Ala Moana Boulevard and other state corridors for safety after a review of pedestrian and bicycle involved crashes.
The important thing for folks to know is this is data driven.
Before the signs, crashes at Ala Moana intersections were in the double digits. After they were installed, it was none to 1.
Wow. We do have complaints about adding to the commute time, but we would just say that extra minute or two in a car, how much is that worth? Is it worth a human life?
Because the accident,
a minute or two?
Create this, that's not fair for the low user and the resident living in those high rise.
But Cheng says he's fed up as the added wait times mean added stress.
The DOT says the Kaka'ako area is getting busier, but that people will eventually get used to the new signs. I'm Mahealani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
There are changes coming to Hawaii's license plates.
I guess so. I mean, if it does save lives or it does save people from getting injured, and that's why I get frustrated, because when they make sense,
well, you know what? Look, I mean, the statistics show it did in fact make sense, and I don't know if you watched the news today, but two adolescents were going through a crosswalk. They got
Kapiolani.
Hit and run, Kapiolani, right there, and one of them passed away, unfortunately. So, guess what? You know, I don't know. And I love how they say, "Oh, you'll get used to it," you know, and never go to New York. Yeah. Because if this bugs you, and you know what, another vote for leaving early.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Which I always wondered about this. How does a bus stay on time in traffic? Or do they just not?
They just don't. I mean, the weird part is, how do they get the schedule down for the bus drivers?
Yeah.
What they do is that the schedule department goes in a van and drives the route and says, okay, this takes this many minutes, this takes it, but doesn't take into account that the bus stops. Yeah. So when I was a bus driver, we almost never made our time, because it's ridiculous. There's no way it takes 1 hour to go from Kapiolani Park to school or to Middle Street via hotel, School Street. It's ridiculous.
And that's why you have to put up with, bro, what time the 4 o'clock bus show up?
How come you late like that? All those questions, because the schedule you see on the paper, it's ridiculous. And this is gonna frustrate a lot of people, because for me, now I'm not driving a city bus anymore. I get frustrated when I come down on Ward to make a right onto Ala Moana Boulevard to go towards the airport. They changed that to no right turn on red. So at night, when it's just you.
Oh, I hate that one. And you look and you could,
Yeah, so that's where it gets frustrating, when you don't go through, you're not, in the rush hour traffic, but you're sitting there and you're just waiting for the whole thing to cycle through.
Wow. And then that one guy yelling out, 3 cars on red, That's another one that really bugs me. And this hasn't got anything to do with stop signs or stuff, but that person who is at the crosswalk, the light turns green they don't pull out into the intersection. So when it turns red, 3 cars can go. They wait there, and then when it opens up, they go, and I know.
I mean, on top of that, the whole crosswalk thing, where people don't understand that it's on your half. If the pedestrian starts walking on your half of the street, you cannot go. But if they're on the other half, you can.
Oh, you can go behind them.
Well, when they're already on your half, if they cross, they're already past you, then you can go. But they have to be on the crosswalk. But if they're going the other way, so if they start you can't go. But if they pass
I'm
you,
lost.
then you can go.
I get it. Just, in other words, if they're not in front of you, don't run them over.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if they're underneath, then move
You
back.
know, this reminds me, there was a comic, and I wish I can remember his name. He had this funny bit, you know. He says, cops in L.A. and cops in, cops in California and cops in New York. He says, it's so different, right? He says, you know, a guy, you know, through a red light, through an intersection and goes, and they go, hey, did you see him? And the cop says, what do you want me to do? He made it. Right? But he says, and then in California, it's pull over, left speaker out.
Chase him down.
Chase him down.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to tell you. You know, this, by the way, as a public service announcement, we just like to remind everybody that every car is equipped with a road rage eliminator, and most people don't use it. They're called turn signals.
Oh, is that one of those sticks? That's on the steering wheel?
You push that down, and then before you cut in front of somebody, you let them know, hey, I'm gonna make you late to Tutu's house.
That's the thing that goes tick, 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 tick.
Well, you can hear it. Mine are always on, and that's the international sign of you're a grandparent.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy, yeah. All right, gang, I tell you what, we're going to take a break. We're going to pay some bills, and I'm sure one of these days we're going to see a commercial for Oahu Golf attire. But until then, we just have to look at James's 6X shirt. But we'll be right back after this. Okay, gang, that's where I'm gonna cut. You notice I didn't play the bus video because I'm gonna add that stuff after the fact, right? Okay, but now we are back, and for the second segment, we're gonna bring in Dani, but I want to bring her in early, and then we'll do a TV thing and pretend we just brought her in again. I want to introduce you to someone who, again, knows a lot about social media and is here to talk about the effect of your mental health on it. Hamajan gang, I'll introduce you to Dani girl. How's it, Dani?
Hi. Thanks for having me.
You know, first of all, you know, congratulations on all your success on Instagram. What's your secret?
Well, I got lucky. I started early. So like we got started before there was a lot of people online. And so we were putting out I had like this one viral meme, and that was back when you could have like one viral thing and get like a lot of followers. So we started on Facebook and then eventually went to Instagram. So we have like, you know, a couple 100,000 on Facebook and then a couple 100,000 on Instagram. I was on YouTube early on. So it's getting started early helps a lot. It helped a lot.
Well, I started at 7 this morning, and I don't have 200,000 followers.
Oh, you gotta start at 5 a.m.
You gotta go back in time.
Yeah, you need a time machine.
That's a funny thing with social media, though. Is I always feel like, man, I just missed it. If I had started last year or the year before, I would have been there.
Yeah.
It's harder to get followers now, so you got to cut yourself some slack because it is a lot harder. And a lot of people are faking it, right? Remember that 50% of what you see isn't real either. So.
Yeah, I'm a hologram. I'm not actually here right now. So, you know, you can't trust anything, I think is what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at right now.
You both could be AI and we would never know.
Yeah, really.
All you got to do is count the fingers. If they have more than 10 fingers, then
an extra arm.
Yeah, extra arm.
Now, you're involved with 808Viral, okay? Is there anything you can tell us about that for the people who want to go to Instagram and follow it? What can they expect?
Yeah, we like entertainment, Hawaii entertainment. It's literally like everything. You know, anything we think is entertaining, we create content, we curate it. It's been a launching platform for a lot of local influencers and folks that have been doing comedy online. And so we do it all. Challenges, we like anything we see, we debate things like, why do people in Hawaii park backwards? Like, or why do we back it? And everybody's like, well, because their tags are expired or quick getaway. You know, everybody, we have like really deep conversations, you know.
You
that's
busted
great.
me.
Oh, man.
You busted me on that one.
Oh, okay. I may ask you to say that again for the television portion, because right now,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
we're on the internet. But that's great. Oh, that's too much. Okay, so let's go away, and we'll come back and again, to further confuse the Hamajang gang. The Hamajang gang is what we call our chat, okay? Because anybody in this, podcast is Hamajang, Garen, Ball Barons, okay? Let me just get to the chat here. Let me see. I wish I could get this working here where you could. Oh, look, you can kind of see it. It's kind of in focus. Right there, you see the chat jump in there a little bit. Maybe if I go off and then come back. Oh, what happened to your light? Did I turn it off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got scolding.
We're gonna ghost you.
We canceled you.
There you go. Okay, let's. Oh yeah, let's do the. Oh yeah, let's.
The light. That light's off.
Oh, do you want that one on too?
Well, it was on.
Oh, it was on. Yeah, I'm bumping everything.
Consistency.
Here. Okay, so we've done one.
No.
We did one segment,
Yep.
so this will be two. Do I click it now, or do we click it after?
Oh, you can click it. Then we know we're on segment 2.
Okay. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, here we go. And we're back. Oh man, you think we'd get used to this? Okay.
Almost.
If you just joined us, you're watching the Daily Pidgin. My name's Andy Bumatai.
And I'm James Money.
And we have a special guest that I'm really looking forward to talking to. She wants to talk about social media. Now, she teaches social media. She has a successful Instagram account or is part of it, but is here to talk about social media and how it can affect your mental health. How's that? Please help me welcome Dani girl.
Hi.
How's it, Dani?
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Was that intro, anything you want to change on that? Did I get it?
No, it was deja vu. It was perfect.
No, it was.
It was good.
Great.
It was
Okay.
great.
So let's talk first of all about your social media platform, Instagram. Phenomenally successful. How
Yeah.
many Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. We have like a couple 100,000 there, a couple 100,000 face, pretty much across the platform, and we also run other pages too. So the combined is about 2 million.
Wow.
Because we have niche, we have food pages, we have all kinds. Yeah.
So when you throw baby luau, plenty people show up.
Right. Be virtual.
Now, how did you get involved in the mental health aspect of social media?
I mean, because it was really how I started was I was overcoming a fentanyl addiction. And it was my creative outlet at one point where I had to like change my life to like save my own life. And so all of the things that I had learned, I went online and I was a journalism major. So I started creating content. And I had my own like pet page, and my first viral video was like 2007, and I just loved storytelling. And then when I came back home to get clean and get well, and I really just kind of didn't want to go anywhere. I was afraid to relapse. And so I started going social online. I started making content and writing comedy for other people and convincing people to make crazy videos with me, and they trusted me, thankfully. And our first video went viral, which was Mokes Try Vegan Food. That was our first one. And that was very interesting.
It happens fast, doesn't it?
It did. And it was crazy. Like we've had all kinds of crazy little things that we put out that we debate. We had a spam Oreo. I did a spam Oreo meme that actually ended up on Jimmy Kimmel. People thought it was real. And Nabisco had to actually like make a statement that says, no, it's not real. Everybody calm down. And
a spam Oreo.
Yeah, I just made a Photoshop. It was not even a good one. It was like a bad Photoshop of the package like spam Oreos.
Yeah.
And then it was in people's monologues. And then Snopes had to like debunk it. And I was like, oh my God, I've made it. I'm on Snopes.
But how important was getting in early? It sounds like you were one of the early, adopters of the social media
Yeah, definitely,
importance.
because it was a much smaller community, and so
Yeah.
it was easy. People were just watching at that time. So like if you had one viral, like Spam Oreos got us 30,000 followers right off the bat. That was
Wow.
just from that meme. And then we did Moke's Try Vegan Food, and that one got another like 30, 40,000. Like it just happened really fast. It's very hard to grow now because everybody is online. And
Yeah.
there's a
Here,
lot of like
Pocoli.
bakery.
Look at this. I don't know if you can see that, but Pocoli T said, "I can't even say Moke's try vegan food without laughing."
I know.
You should watch it because it's hilarious. Like
Oh,
one of them's like, there was, they have the kale crunch, and we gave them kale crunch, and he's like, "What's the kale? It's the kale crunch. It's fake weed."
call it fake weed.
They tried to roll it up and smoke the kale.
Oh, that's
goodness.
too funny. Now, when I want to talk more about that mental health thing, but we'll do that in the next segment because
Sure.
what you're doing. What did you say? You have over like 1 million
It's
combined.
2.5 million. Two and a
Two
half
and a
million.
half million.
It's
How
a
often
lot.
do you have to feed that beast?
It's constantly feeding the beast, and that's the problem. It's
Mm.
gotten to
Yeah.
be more than I can even control at this point. I hit back in 2018 when I calculated we were almost at 1 billion total combined views.
Wow.
And I haven't even tracked it since then, but like it's a lot. It's a
It,
lot.
do you, and I mean, again, I don't want to get into the mental health part because we're going to talk about that, but the effect on you to
Yeah.
feed that beast.
Yeah, that's why I'm so good at understanding what's happening to people because I was an early adopter. So I've already kind of been through the gamut of what happens
Yeah.
and started to find ways to like take social media breaks, which I talk about a lot now. Like that social media is such a positive thing. There's so many good things about it, but I can see very clearly, and I have plenty of friends, and I've seen how devastating it can be for people. So it's very like there's so many important that everybody understands it. And I have to really like it's my business. Like I do this,
Yeah.
I manage people's pages, I do large scale community management and coaching. And I always tell people so you gotta pace yourself. You gotta set like limits every day because it will catch up to you. It affects your sleep. The
Mm.
negativity, it can really like damage your ego and like your self-esteem and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it still fun for you?
Hmm. Yeah, it is. Saturday we filmed, and I remembered it was actually nice because I realized that I need to start making content that way again with a group of people because I think
Yeah.
we get lost in like the commenting and the constant responding, and I have to respond every day to somebody mad about something. Like somebody's upset about something or there's some outrage happening. The other day I said I was talking about micro influencers, like because you talk about small influencers, they're called micro influencers, and I had people mad saying that I was saying Micronesian influencers, and then I had to explain to everybody like, no, I wasn't making a racial slur. I was saying like that's the term is micro influencers, and it's like
Oh, that's
everything is
too
offensive these
funny.
days.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I,
Welcome to the world of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you say that? I know what you were trying to say. Actually, you know what I mean? Amazing.
yeah, there's so many crazy funny like moments where things become offensive that you didn't even think about until somebody said
Yeah.
something and you're like, whoa, what?
It's
Where did that
interesting. A very good friend of ours, Frank De Lima,
Mm-hmm.
right? He won't go on social media and doesn't have any platforms because he says he's afraid that people will be mean to him.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
Aw.
well, get a moderator.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Get a filter between you. That happens a lot with
Right.
celebrities. Like I manage a celebrity account. We do everything, and we only
Hmm.
show him what he needs to see or wants to see. Like Frank,
Oh.
I don't. Does he
Danny,
know how?
Danny, we're gonna take a short break here, and
Sure.
we'll be back, and then we'll talk a little more about everything and mental health. Okay,
Nice.
right after this. Hold on, gang. Don't go away. We'll be back. I'm hearing an echo. Are you
I'm hearing
hearing?
echo too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that your? Are you? Where's that coming from? I wonder. Hey, you hear that?
Yep. It's delayed echo.
That's not your speakers, is it, Dani?
I don't think so, because it's not outputting, and it's outputting into here. So
I wonder if it's reaching those earphones to that microphone because they're so close. Is that the mic you're using? Is that a hot?
Here, hold on. Let me try it. Adjust. Is that better?
Well, it's not you. It's me. Hey, yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, that was it. Okay. There we
I
go.
turned it down. There we go.
Hey, thanks so much. Oh, okay. Wow, so interesting, Dani. Again, I got so locked in. James is going, the time. Being stuck to that 8-minute thing. I mean, social media is one thing, but man, television, because it's got to be. And if I don't stick to it, Dani, then I'm in editing purgatory, trying to cut what.
Understand that.
All the interesting things you say. How do I cut 30 seconds out of it? You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the
Hamajang Gang.
Yeah, the Hamajang Gang here. Poppy says, I'm hearing it also, but I think we fixed it. I hear the echo too. Oh, was just gonna say that. I hear echo. Ooh, there you go. And Pocoli T says, doot. I love that. Okay, echo gone. Wow. Got that fixed so quick. Hey, she's a social media professional. Are you kidding? Some of the people, I got to tell you, Dani, and I'm sure you've gone through this, and James named it aptly. He goes, the problem with bringing people on remotely, devices.
Yeah, I know. That happens a lot. Like you have to help them with every little thing, and they don't understand, and it takes longer to get them set up. Yeah.
Right. Or they do this, So anyway, I was just. Can you move closer? Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, so I was.
Oh yeah, I think
even when you watch the news, and they're interviewing somebody, and the person's like,
yeah. I was just gonna say, it's the uncle cam, because I notice uncles do that. They get real close. Like when I talk to Daryl Bonilla looks like he's in prison, and he's like really close like this. I'm like, Daryl, back it up, bro. I'm seeing I see up your nose.
Back it up, bro. How many? I think there isn't one woman watching this who hasn't used that sentence at one time or another. Back it up, bro. Down, Simba.
Hey, Michael C. Hall's here.
Yeah, where's Michael? Oh, there he is. Hey, Mike. Oh, yeah, there you go. What a great guest. Aloha, y'all. Echo fixed. Yeah, Michael Hall did comedy here for
ComedyHawaii.com.
Comedy Hawaii, that's right. You guys worked a lot together, didn't you? Yeah. He's another comic, okay?
And now he lives in Texas, and he's getting married in April.
Oh, man.
Congratulations.
Well, congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, there.
And they met on my podcast.
Did you?
Did they really?
Yeah, she was a fan of the podcast, and Michael was a guest. And then because Michael lived in Oklahoma, and he was like, Texas, I'm familiar with Texas. And I guess they took that conversation off the podcast. And
they
then
slid into each other's DMs.
Yeah.
He was like, shh.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, I actually quit doing comedy, and Michael is the one who brought me back.
Really?
Because
it's his fault.
Yeah. I quit because I bombed at rest camp.
Rest camp? That's my old stomping grounds.
I bombed and I quit, and he said, no, you're funny, just come back. Everybody bombs.
Everybody bombs.
I could never do what you guys do, ever. I told James this. I'm like, it's a whole different thing on social media than it is to do live comedy like that.
Okay,
like
you know what? Okay, let's go to the let's go back to the TV show. But you mentioning rest camp, I gotta play this. Okay, it's gonna take me a little bit to set up, but we'll come out of this and then we'll come back to the TV show. Okay. And Dani, we'll talk about mental health, right? and in the third segment with you, you can ask that question about comedy. Don't forget it, okay? Wait, hold on. Let me reset my timer here.
Are you giving yourself ears too?
And then there. So we're doing the third segment here coming up, right?
So am I mentioning rest camp in this segment? Or no?
Well, I'm just going to play a video I have about rest camp, and then
we'll start it with the video.
Yeah, and then we'll come in. I don't know if I'll use it or not, but we'll see. Okay, hold on. Okay,
you guys are like magicians. I have no idea what's going on, but it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a one-man studio here.
Well, we're doing a podcast and a television show at the same time, so it's a little weird. But remember, what keyed this was rest camp. Okay, so here we go.
This is Froggy to my brother out there, Andy. You bugger from the corner pocket rest camp. I forget the phrase,
You're
but
watching a Daily Pidgin.
I'm watching Daily. This is Hawaiian. That's why I had to listen.
You're watching a Daily Pidgin.
Daily Pidgin
with Andy Bumatai.
With Andy Bumatai, the brother from Army Beach, Waina, Hawaii.
Take a break.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Daily Pidgin on Channel 50 KKAI. My name's Andy Bumatai.
And I'm James Money.
And we have a special guest today, Dani Girl, a social media coach, in part of 808Viral, a phenomenally successful social media site. And she's here to talk about social media and its effect on your mental health. So here we go. Welcome back, Dani.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Hey, so when I first started the Daily Pidgin, right? It was an accidental thing. I accidentally went on, and then I did it the next day, and then next day ended up doing 500 shows in a row at 6 a.m. thinking, that's the way to get 200,000 like Dani Girl. Well, number one, never work. But at the end, I literally had to turn to the audience and say, I'm burnt out. I can't do this anymore. And I took a month off and, did things like go to the beach. And, is that normal?
Absolutely. Like this, the hardest part is especially when you expect something you're hugely successful, and then people go online and they don't see the same success. And there's like, it kind of breaks your heart. You think that you're failing, and then you're putting in this commitment. The people who work the hardest on social media aren't the ones getting popular. It's usually strategy. And what I keep telling people, and I coach people, like most of the time I'm talking to people, they're saying that I feel like giving up. Like, why am I doing this? I feel like nobody cares. Nobody's seeing me. Probably 65% of what you see online is fake. People are inflating their numbers. It's not real. So like, you're competing with something that's a huge part of the mental health part, right? Is that you're breaking down because you're thinking, I'm trying really hard, and you're taking it personally because it's your life's work, and your stuff does really well, Andy. When we share your stuff, when we shared clips of your like Pidgin origin words, and I remember like it did really well. It was just, we just presented it differently. We would just, because people have no attention span. So if we took like little clips of your show and put it up, we would easily get 50,000 views on that. It's just differently put out,
Well, you know what? You mentioned attention span, now I know we're talking about mental health here, and I think attention span and the effect that it has on, especially on young people. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, because what I'm noticing, and I have this happening with somebody in my life right now, is that these devices and everything that we have are literally geared to keep your attention. There's a lot of money in this, and they have these shorts. We have stories, like that are meant to be digested in small amounts, and you swipe through them really quickly. And if you watch a kid who's doing this, I mean, they're barely getting through anything. They're just like boom, 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 boom. They're just consuming. And it's causing, this kind of ADHD concentration problems. Like where teachers are saying that they're having trouble getting the kids to focus and pay attention on anything. And so, I've been telling people to keep their kids to moderate them on these devices. You have to curate what they're seeing, and you got to keep it to a small amount of time, because their attention spans are just all over the place. And we don't truly, there's studies being done. We don't know 100% the effects on our brains.
Yeah, but how is that possible? I mean, you take a phone away from some of these young people and they want to commit suicide.
It's addiction. It's feeding the same, honestly, it's just another form of addiction. I know this well. I overcame addiction using social media to keep me from going back to addiction. And then I realized I also had now a social media addiction. And the first time we had a blackout and my phone went out and I had no power, my husband will tell you, like, he was ready. If he had tranquilizer, he would have shot me with an elephant dart. I was freaking out. I couldn't handle it being quiet and dark. He's like, let's just read. I'm like, read? What do you mean? There's nothing to read. The world is over. Like I couldn't even pick up a book anymore. You know, I'm like, I couldn't function. My calendar, my whole life was on my phone.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is bad.
I was reading something the other day, and well, not reading something. I was watching a video on how to, be more successful on YouTube. You know, they have all those kind of videos, right? And I'm just, oh, I'm going to watch this guy a little bit. And he says the important thing is to grab him in that first 8 seconds, because if you don't get him in that first 8, and I was like, 8 seconds?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I gotta do, I mean, I always, my joke was, imagine, you walk in to see, Gone with the Wind, and you sit down in the theater, it starts up, and in the first 8 seconds, you go, ah, man.
No, it's true. That's true. Like, remember, Vine was 6 seconds. We had to like do a beginning, middle, and end comedy bit in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, and we're like, our brains are just going faster, and it's definitely like, I'm seeing people have mental breakdowns, like suicidal, depression, anxiety, relapsing on drugs. It's like, it's funny because I'm in the business, this is what I do, but I'm also at the same time trying to myself figure out ways to help with it, and to like teach people what they need to do, and to let them know like things are normal, the way you're feeling. Like a lot of the times when I tell them how I've been feeling, they're so relieved to know, like, oh my God,
someone
I was
else is
feeling that
going
way.
through that. Yeah, yeah. Now, do you have any organization, or something where somebody who is concerned about this could go, that you're a part of?
I don't. I wish there was somebody. That's a really good point to make. I wish we should have somebody locally. We've talked about this. We have a group called Hawaii Creators, where we're kind of we have about a little over 100 creators in that group, and we've talked about mental health, and we're trying to come up with something where people can like maybe do like a podcast that specifically talks about the different issues, because there's different issues, right? Everybody has different issues, and especially if you've already are having a mental health, like you already have a mental health issue, like depression or anxiety, like there's things you can do social media that can make it better or worse, and there's just not enough information out there. So we are talking about it.
Give us an example of something you can do to make it better.
Take a social media break. Breaks are super, super important. Like, I knew when I got COVID, actually, interesting, when I got COVID, I got really sick, like really, really sick, but more than anybody else in the house. And I was down for like a month. I thought I was going to die. I ended up in the hospital. It was like really bad. And I was off social media for the longest time that I ever had been. I hadn't even charged my phone. I didn't look at it. And when I finally got better from COVID, so much things changed. My sleeping was better. Everything was better. And anytime that I have had a surgery or I've had forced downtime off of social media and off of my devices, I could tell immediately.
Hey, Dani, C. Honda wants to know if you read the book Glow Kids.
I haven't. I'm going to write it down,
It says
though.
kids too involved in social media. You might want to write that down, because C. Honda, she's one of our moderationists, and she also handles our Discord and a lot of the Twitter stuff, right? So she's our
Yeah, I'll
gal.
look into that, because it's definitely something we're not doing anything about here right now. And my coaching is a lot about like helping small businesses not be afraid to get on social. Everyone's afraid too, right? Because we're all in this like time period now where everybody's just trying to find the truth. We all realize we've been lied to about so many things, and then we're on this social media place where everything, you can't trust anything. Everything is either a lie, and it makes you crazy.
And let me tell you one of the worst things about like what we're doing television, and that is I need to cut you off and go to a commercial break and come back with Dani.
My attention.
That's right after this.
Good thing I'm used to it.
Yeah, there you go. Wow, that was so interesting. Yeah, Glow Kids, that was a great suggestion. Thank you for that, C. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. We're on the internet now. So, I mean, let's see what the Hamajang gang has to say. Keone Nunes, he was so proud of it. Oh, they're having private conversations. That's great. When we come back, you know, what I'd like to also talk about is when you're coaching. Okay, just to give you time to think about it. You
Yeah.
don't need to answer now. When you're coaching, what is one thing that you notice that's most people are doing wrong? Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that I think that'd be a good way to tee that off. Look at that. Here we get an 8-minute attention span. Oh man,
That's
I
a
love
long
you.
time. It's
That's
nice.
well, in social media, that's a career.
Yeah.
The time and the clicker.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there, I know that I guess maybe the last segment, Dani wanted to talk to about how one of your jokes affected her in a positive way.
Oh, you know what?
Actually, I can segue this into the mental health issue because it means something about how we're influenced as children and how that carried through with me through my life.
Okay,
It's kind of cool.
you
So
want to start that in the second,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
fourth segment? Yeah, okay, we'll do that. And for the Hamajang gang, a little bit of a hint. Dani has a story about, I guess, a comedy routine I did that had an effect on her. Don't blow the punchline, but I haven't heard it yet, and I'm really looking forward to it. And you know, and she says on the, you know, on the subject of mental health, it helped her a little bit, and that's when comedy does good, you know. I mean, there's so many comics out there that are just acerbic and just being mean and stuff. And I think there was a generation, you know, James is part of it, you know, as is, you know, even Tumua and Augie. The Hawaiian comics, we're so used to being around different kinds of people, right? In my act, I go, Hawaii, we're not prejudiced. We hate everybody equally.
everybody. It's true.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. And I think that's what helped in my comedy is that I grew up in an Asian neighborhood, like different Asians, not just, I didn't grow up in the Samoan community either. Yeah. So my view of
what
the
area
world,
was that?
Lipoa Place, which is across in Aiea, across from the Watercress Farm.
Oh, okay.
So they have that one neighborhood behind the two gas stations. Beacon Restaurant used to be.
You know, I don't know if you know this. It's just completely off topic, but the Watercress Farm. You know why?
Sumida.
Sumida Watercress. Why it's there? Because just like that whole area, it's one of the last places where fresh water comes up from the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they never buy water. In fact, I'm not mistaken, they sell water to other people because water comes up through that naturally.
Oh,
that's how they can grow that there. And all the Hawaiians are going, how about some taro?
That's funny because when we would go there
Yeah.
Illegally because it's trespassing, but as kids, we would jump in there and the water would be really cold.
Yeah, it was coming up from the artesian wells.
Yeah, because I learned how to swim in that canal next to Sears, that we go moss sliding, and it's filthy. But when you go to Sumida
Sure, that was moss.
Yeah, I hope it was moss. Maybe that's why I'm so tall. But then I would go across to Sumida, and it'd be freezing cold in there.
Yeah, I would. But anyway, that's what I heard. Anyway,
Wow.
I could be wrong. Okay, so what? You like make more television or what?
Yeah, can.
Okay, can. We're gonna do that then.
If
Okay.
can.
Let's go. I wonder if I should play another one of these drops. So you know what I'm playing there, that guy Froggy that you said from Wine. People send in what we call drops, where they go, "Hey, I watched the show, you know, whatever." I'll play another one, and then we'll come out of it. I may not use it on the TV show, but I haven't seen them in a while myself, so I'm gonna play one here. Okay, hold on. Okay, I have to do that fancy thing again. Wait a minute. I have to go here, and then go here, and then put a drop in. Let's say, okay, here. This is one from Cindy Krause. I really like this one here. Hold on. Okay, and here we go.
How's it, everybody? My name is Tilly Krause, and I like grinding strawberries and flowers, but can I eat right now? It's time for the Daily Pidgin Live with Andy Bumatai. See ya.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the names: Andy Bumatai and
James Money.
Right there, spelled correctly, believe it or not.
And it's not Maine.
No, it's not Maine. He's not the main man.
Apparently not, but one day
we switch places. Well, you know what, bro? Hey, at your age, all you gotta do is just wait.
That's what I hear. You just wait them out.
Just wait them
Wait them
out.
out. Gonna come. Your time gonna come. I think that's how it worked for Leno. So that maybe.
Okay. So we have again. Let me start the timer. Thank you so much, James. You're the main man.
Now I am.
There now, because without you, we would have done a 20-minute segment.
Yeah.
And we have to count the clicker?
And then you'd have to edit forever.
Like, what else is there? Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a gal. She goes by Dani Girl. And again, if you just tuned in, she's a social media star in that her Instagram following is 200,000. I think she has another 200 on Facebook. Collectively, all her groups over 1 million.
2 million. Over 2 million.
Over 2 million. Yeah. And she's here to help us understand the effect of social media on mental health. Mm-hmm. So once again, let's welcome Dani Girl.
Hello.
I know.
The one thing, if you don't mind me jumping in on this.
No, go ahead.
One thing I like about Dani Girl is that she highlights a lot of other people. So like the group, the friends that she has that record or create content, she uses her platform to highlight them. Another comedian in our scene, Daryl Bonilla.
Of course. I know Daryl.
He's in a lot of their videos.
Funny.
I'm recently in their videos.
Yes.
So that's the thing that I like is that about Dani is she gives. It's not just, so we mentioned how many followers, and it's not her personal followers. It's the group.
It's the Instagram account.
Yeah, so the group, right. And then she highlights other people. And she does a lot of sharing of positive Hawaiian cultural stuff. And there's comedy in there where you make fun of certain things, but always try to push, positive Hawaiian culture. So
there you go.
Yeah, we always punch up. It's a rule. Like we don't punch down. It's kind of not hard to do that, but it seems a lot of people have trouble with it. But I mean, honestly, right now, if it like the best engagement you get is by really negative content. So we actually, the fact that we're doing well is really great because it's easy to build followers now if you're posting the worst of the worst, because you get people to engage, right? Because if it bleeds, what if it bleeds it? If it bleeds it, what's the term that they use for me? If it bleeds, it leads. Yeah. And that's kind of what's going on. But it's a lot of like, social media. Like one of the things I tell people a lot is that we have an influence. All of us do. Whether you have like 500 followers, whatever you say, you put out there, you have an influence on somebody. And so what you give out, you get back. I mean, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that is a thing. And that's why that's the only reason things work out for me. Because if I put things out good, I get that back. Yeah. And that leads me to like my story with you. And this is a great example of influence, right? Because as a kid, I saw a bit that you did. And it was this thing like, how did people back in like the caveman days decide what to eat? Like you had lobsters, you had crabs, but then you had dogs that you could call and they come to you. So why did we choose crabs and lobsters? Who thought of that? And as a kid, like my light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, why? Like that's like, that was a deep thought for me. The rest of my life, I obsess about where food, I always think of the story. Like, how did this happen? Who did this? Why is this happening?
Let me give people who aren't familiar with the bit just a quick synopsis of it. I said, people are upset when people eat dogs, but to me, crab is a much weirder food, right? And people started eating dogs, and again, this is just me. I said because they were chasing food around during the caveman days, cavewoman days, right? And I said, what's more convenient than food that will come when you call it? Remember that was
yeah. And who thought of that? Like you have this crab that's like ouchy and bitey and hard, and it takes a lot to like get it to prepare, and it's like, why would you do that? So and then just recently I was thinking about taro, and I was like, oh, here goes my Andy Bumatai rabbit hole. I'm going down the rabbit hole because I was thinking about taro. I'm like, taro leaves are poisonous. So some brada like went maki die dead from eating taro, but then somebody figured out to cook it. So who took the bullet to try the cook version?
Who took
Like,
the bullet?
right?
Well, think about the first person who tried. Hey, bro, look at that crab. Might be ono for eat. Okay, here, bro, bite him. Okay. Who took
Was it like the village idiots or the guys who were like breaking law? Like they were the ones that had to try all the food. You know,
Who took the bullet?
Go try Kavika. Kavika the one.
Oh.
Try Kavika.
Kavika, look at here. Allah says, "Oh, great, Terry. Oh, I like what."
Eating some zippies after.
And then I started thinking about too, like speaking of zippies, like we have, or even just like the like lomi lomi salmon. We don't have no salmon or tomatoes. Where did any of this come from? Right?
Well, don't start. Yeah. You know, the whole food thing. You know, it's the first person to look at a cow and go, "Hey, you know what?" Right. And one of my favorite jokes is that brother, you know, he's arguing with a vegetarian, right? And he goes, "Bruh, if God never like us eat cow, why he make them out of meat?"
And then who thought to eat the face, like the barbacoa, right? Like somebody's like, "Oh, face meat. Let's eat the meat off the face or the eyeballs or the tongue." Like everybody, I mean, who thought it? Who did it first?
Well,
like now you got me thinking all the time. Like I can't stop. It's your fault.
I'm sorry about that, Dani.
No, it's great.
You affected her mental health.
Oh.
It affected me, but it was a positive thing because it made me want to learn. Like I would always research and I would find out that where the origins of the food came from, but not necessarily like why somebody chose it or who died or whatever. Like not
Look,
like that kind of stuff.
Keone Nunes here says, "Look at this. The Native Americans ate acorn, very poisonous, and it takes a lot of steps to make it edible. Who took the bullet?"
Who did? Who died?
Squirrels took the bullet.
Right. Or apple seeds, right? Like who ate a bunch of apple seeds? Because apple seeds are poison. I just found this out. Apple seeds are poisonous. If you eat too many, they're poisonous.
You know what? And this is only because I grew up, you know, economically challenged. And when we used to grind apple, you know how people like to eat the core and they throw the core away? Not us, bro. We grind every piece of that apple till only the seeds are left. And I told that to somebody, and someone said, eating just to the core started when they were trying to make more apple trees. So they would eat to the core and then bury the core so the seeds would use what was left of the apple as fertilizer to kind of grow.
Oh, you're still blowing my mind with these food history
Food stories. And
I love that
what?
story.
Well, we're going to pay some bills so we can buy some food, and we'll be right back with more of Dani. And now we got to talk about mental health in the next segment, okay? So don't go away. We'll be right back. That was 30 seconds early.
We started late.
But we always start late.
Yeah.
We always start late. Plus, I have these bumpers, right? Yeah, I have these bumpers. Let me see what else. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That thinking that you're doing, that's the comedic mind. That's how when we try to figure something out, they go, that's a good joke. And then it all starts with daydreaming about something so silly and then finding out how can I put this in some place in my life where it matters.
Well, to me, that's what makes a good comic. Someone who makes you go, what? I didn't think about that. I brought this up before, but there was a comic who said, you ever be behind, be in front of an ambulance and you look and they wrote ambulance backwards so you can look in the rearview mirror and tell it's an ambulance. He goes, how stupid are people that they can't see this sirens and these flashing lights? And who looked back there before they changed it backwards and said, don't worry, honey, it's an eklanubma. You know, it's like, what? Oh, man. Oh, what's this here? I don't know.
Yeah, because every time you have a sign saying don't do this or warning for this, that means somebody did something stupid.
Somebody did it.
And then the sign is there for those stupid people.
Who is it that does they need a sign, stupid signs and stuff, you know?
Engvall?
Signs for stupid people.
Here's your sign.
Very good. good.
Here's your sign.
Here's your sign, right? Hey, good night, folks. Are you taking off, John, or you're just saying hello because it's nighttime where you are?
Is that an actual picture of John Durden? Was that his actual image?
Huh? Who? This here?
John Durden. Is that him? Wait, who is that?
I'm assuming it's Don Durden.
Oh. Okay.
Did it strike you? Or?
I have a friend. I have a single friend. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, let's
Her name's
throw
Eliza.
Don Durden on there again for Dani.
I was like, God, him and my friend would make really cute babies.
Oh, there you go. See, you are looking to the future.
See?
You know? And you know that's a woman's view. Oh, look, he'd make cute babies. You know? I mean, how many guys look at a woman and go, "Oh, she would throw good pops."
Let's breed.
Oh, look, I just entered the chat. Looks great. Oh, thank you, John. And Dani says she's got a single friend for you. Yeah.
She's gonna kill me.
Oh, look at this. You guys are cheerful. Great talk. Okay, so let's go back and then did I click it already? Is this 5 or 6?
I think we're on
5. Oh, I don't know.
it's 5.
Don't ask me.
Okay, so we're gonna do 5.
Yes, us 1, 2, 3. Yep, it's gonna be number 5 now.
Okay, this is 5. Okay, now we really need to get to that mental health part. Was there something else, or did we cover it? Because we can try a new subject.
You wanted me to talk about the reverse parking thing. I didn't get to throw that in yet, but I'm looking for an in on that.
But
that was just like a
also-
random thing.
Yeah, but also you had a question for us about
Yeah, I had a
comedy.
question. Yeah, and this is kind of like, it does kind of tie into mental health too, because I think we're all trying to
Well, I'll
figure
tell you
out.
what. Let me tee it off. I'll ask you a question. You know, when you're helping people in social
There you go.
media, what yada yada, and then we'll go
Yeah.
from there. Oh man. For those of you just joining us, like John Durden, we do this podcast, but then we edit out a television show from it that will start airing on March 6th. Every day at 7 p.m. and then rerun at 7 a.m. and then rerun at 12:30. So we'll be on 3 times on Channel 50 KKAI here in Hawaii. Okay. What's that? Oh yeah, reset timer. You are the man. Oh, excuse me. You are the mane.
That's why I'm here.
There you
That's
go.
why I'm here.
I know.
To reach the light up there.
Wait, that's your catchphrase. I'm the Mane.
Oh, show me the money.
Show me
is
the
what
money.
we
Show me the
like,
money.
what we like. Yeah.
Mo
okay.
money.
Okay. Okay. Let me play another drop, and then we'll come back from that and do segment 5, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Here we go. Let me do this, and then I do this.
How's it? You are watching the Daily Pigeon Live with Andy Bumatai. You know it's live because we're stalling so that Andy can find the right video. Let's hope that there's no spelling involved in this search, okay?
Okay, see, I'm ready.
Okay, ready. Enjoy.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Daily Pigeon on Channel 50 here in Hawaii. And our special guest is
Dani Girl.
That's right. And she's here to talk about social media and its effect on mental health, right? And Dani, I'd like to start with a question, if you don't mind. Okay. I know you do a lot of social media coaching. Is that correct?
Yeah, people hire me literally just to either like teach them how to do things. It's kind of like a tech support for social media, whether influencers, small businesses, just people that feel overwhelmed by social media and they don't really know where to go or how to start.
Is that individuals or businesses?
So, well, for the YWCA, I was doing actually for the Enterprising Women of Color program, I would do social media coaching for groups like Zoom once a week. And it was small businesses mostly, like entrepreneurial small businesses and in groups. And then people hire me individually to work with them on an individual basis as well.
Is there any one thing that people are doing wrong on social media that most are doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. I mean, one of the things that they struggle with the most is they're just afraid. I think everybody is like, yeah, they're afraid to get online. Everybody's afraid to post the wrong thing, or they get what I call like freeze, right? Like they have all these ideas, but then they don't know where to start, and then they start looking at what other people are doing, and then they never get their own content out because they're like afraid to push that button. They're afraid to put themselves out there. And the other thing I think a lot of people are doing is just feeling pressured constantly to, and they're not being their authentic self. Like I keep telling people, like, don't try to do what other people are doing. If you're not like, don't do comedies if you're not comfortable doing comedy. You know, I mean, a lot of times I'll talk to people. I'm like, wait, you play ukulele or you sing? Like, why aren't you doing that? Why are you doing this other thing? You know, and it's the thing that they do well that this rant, like one of the things I did years ago, I talk fast. So I started reading my friends' businesses and labels, and then I went and like broke the world record online, like of fast talking, and I got all kinds of views from that. That's natural to me. It was easy, and it never occurred to me to make content talking fast, but I literally do it every day. So I tell people, like, keep it simple. Whatever you're doing, people right now are in such a like learning. They want to learn. They like, if you go on TikTok, this is a great example. There's a TikTok for everything. There's a mortuary talk where you can learn how people prepare dead bodies. You can, I mean, there's a cleaning TikTok where people are cleaning toilets and using like all these colorful things. Like I watched some people clean toilets for an hour and a half the other day. Like I was fascinated. Like
I did that. Oh no.
Right?
Yeah, and then the guy with the ring going, the ring will come back in 5 days unless you do. Oh, really? Oh, and the close-ups of, how weird is that? Hey, let me ask you a question, Dani. Okay, have you ever had anyone that you're coaching go, I'm afraid to post and stuff? How many times have you turned to that people and go, in the beginning, no one will be watching you.
Only 3 people actually see you. Don't worry. It's just your mother and your brother and your kid. Like they love you. It's okay. It's a safe space.
When I first started comedy, right, I was like sweating and stuff, and I swear this local brother, right, older guy, right, probably my age now, walked on stage, Andy, wait, stop for a second. He put his arm around me, he goes, boy, you see these people in the audience, most likely, you're never going to see them again in your life. Just relax. Okay. And then he walked off stage. I went, okay, cool.
That totally helped.
But on the mental health side, try to get we start rapping and I get off the subject, you know what I mean? Do you warn the people that you counsel about that early?
Yeah, first thing I say. One of the first things I say, I said, you got to like understand that it's not for the faint of heart. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it, do not force yourself. Like, especially as a small business, they keep thinking they have to make a video with themselves. If you're not comfortable being on camera, exploit your children. Like they're freeloaders, like make them work for you. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, because the kids know how, but for real, the kids know how to use this stuff. They usually like social media. So I'm like, if you maybe have them unbox your products, like they probably even know how to make the video, like ask them for help, because you're probably giving them allowance, make them work for it, But I said, if you force yourself to do stuff, like I've seen people shaking when they're getting ready to film. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? Don't do it. Like find somebody in your business or somebody else. And there's other ways you can put out content that you're not the one to do it, right? So it's definitely like, I tell people too, if you're already struggling with something, try to stay off of social media until you get that under control. Because really, like I was really lucky. I used something to come off of something else. But when I was struggling with depression, the worst thing I did was consume social media at such a level it made me worse. It made me sicker.
Hey,
and
is
so
there is there what the young people call stranger danger about putting your kids, let's say, online?
I don't want to scare people, but yes, absolutely. I've seen the dark side of this. I've been on the dark web. I've seen things that like I had to couldn't unsee kind of thing. Absolutely need to protect your children online. Like you would be shocked, and we can't even talk about it. Like what
I'm saying is a parent, has this, 10-year-old, let's say, and they're on TikTok and they're in their bedroom and, taking, I hide and they're like that. I mean, how do you monitor that as a parent?
that's hard. And there are actually devices and all kinds of settings that you can do to like limit and to even watch. Like we have a watch that my nephew has that we can track what he's doing, where he's going on with his social media. We can limit it. My husband goes into my nephew's YouTube all the time and makes sure he clears everything so that he's not like seeing things that he's not supposed to see. Like we have it set up in a way that, you know, we control that he's only seeing things for children. And, you know, you just have to, you can't just sit them in front of it and let them go. Cause like they go down these rabbit holes and and it really does affect them. Like their little brains, they have this thing called TikTok brain. Like they're still developing. There's a reason why they don't want them to do virtual reality. Their eyes are still developing. You know what I mean? Like, like we have, like, I mean, if it's affecting us as adults right now, adults, you can see it. I've watched people over the last few years. I don't even know them anymore. They've changed so much because of things that happened on social media that it's like, you know, can you like imagine the children, like how impressionable they are, right? So
you know what? Where can people go? Because here's Gina Gamba saying, "I have anxiety and social anxiety. It's hard to find help here." Where can people go for help, like Gina?
Yeah. So I mean, I personally like I have a counselor I talk to online. Um, all the time, just somebody to talk to. But I always really like Facebook groups a lot because Facebook groups, you can find a really great group of people that you, especially when you have anxiety, because it's hard to like go anywhere and do anything. Like you never know from day to day, like you don't even want to go to the store sometimes, like, or you might have a fear of people. I don't like crowds, you know, I don't like to, James will tell you,
I
like
hate
I
to
don't like
say
events.
it. I hate to say it, Gina, but there's a comedy bit in that. How's it? And welcome to everybody who like be part of the crowd. I know nobody will show up, but we're gonna do our best for continue with this meeting, and we're gonna continue what we're talking about in the next segment, and that'll be the wrap-up one here for the television show. So don't go away. We'll be right back with more of the Daily Pigeon after this. 7, 6, 5, 4, boom. I know. But we always start late.
Yes.
But we always start late. Yeah. See,
time.
and here's Gina Gamba saying, "Thanks,
Aw.
for the
You're not alone,
suggestion
girl.
of."
Trust me. Anyone that work with me will tell you my anxiety issues are like crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy. I have social anxiety and
I perform on stage. I have anxieties too. It's you're not alone, and I mean you can hit me up on the DMs. I talk to everybody that DMs me.
yeah. Panic attacks are a thing that like I mean, if anybody's had them, you know, like you think you're dying. You think you end up at the hospital and you feel so stupid. Like I'm positive I'm having a heart attack. I am absolutely sure. I can feel it. I'm dying. And they're like, no, girl, you're fine. You're fine. You know, so it's a real thing, you know, like, and once you understand that, the biggest thing that you can actually do is talk to people who are having it. Like that's better. Like right now, social media, everybody is so free to talk about it now. We used to never talk about this stuff. It's okay now. You can say whatever you want to say, and there are people out there that feel the way you feel. And once you know that, you start healing. Like I hardly have panic attacks anymore because I understand them. You know, I know what they're coming from. I know what they are, and it got better. You know, so
Yeah, it's just like the comedian I was telling you, the new comedian that asked me for advice, and he was saying, because I've been doing it 13 years, he was going up for his second time at an open mic, and he said, you know, what can he do about the anxieties? And I told him it never goes away. I'm still nervous. I've been doing it 13 years, and every time I go up, I'm nervous, but you learn to deal with it as you start to meet other comics that you find out, oh, they're nervous too. Like
Everybody.
I performed with Amy Schumer. She almost didn't want to go up on stage.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I can't, you know, my notes, these are new jokes. And she had to be Wanda Sykes. Yeah, Wanda Sykes was like, girl, they're here to see you. Go up on stage. And then she finally got up on stage and destroyed. And that's what it is. We all have the anxieties. It's just, you know, when you start to acknowledge it and understand that you're not the only one going through it, that it gets easier to deal with. So it's always going to be there, unfortunately. But
look at here, Blazing Jake. Big thing for anxiety is trying to get control of your breathing. 10 deep breaths changes a lot.
Yep.
And one of my friends would tell me
breathing is a good one.
One of my friends would tell me, look around the room and start describing the colors and the objects that you see to yourself.
You know, I don't know why I'm getting. I feel like I have survivor's guilt here. I've never had an anxiety attack, and probably that's because I don't care.
That's the best thing you can ever get to that point where you
Like,
don't care.
and I know that comes from hanging out with Don Ho. You know, because Don Ho, Don Ho used to do this one thing, and then we'll do this last segment. In fact, let me click that, because Don Ho used to do this one thing where he'd get in a situation, you know, and he goes, you know, Andy, you're gonna find yourself in situations like this. So let me show you how to handle this, right? This guy comes up, no, and he goes, hey, you know what? Hold on, bro. I'll be right back. Don't go away. I'll be right back. And then we just leave. You know, and this guy, and he goes, you know, man, you don't need to put up with everybody. Amazing. So what do you want to touch upon on this last segment, Danny? By the way, I don't know if you're reading the chat here, but man, people are loving what you're talking about.
Well, I actually had a different question for you guys, because do you find that, like,
6:30.
comedians, a lot of comedians are very joyful people most on the surface, but I found a lot of them are suffering from depression, and they are struggling. Like, then this is a really important part of mental health, is that what you see on the outside of people, you never know what's going on behind the scenes. And a lot of the comedians I know are people that we, even myself, when I write comedy for people or I'm putting out comedic things, it's helping me. That's my therapy, because I want to make you feel better. And because when I'm sad or I feel anxious or sad for the world, I feel like I'm changing it around me. You know what I mean? And I think that's why comedians are.
Well, hold on. Save this for
Okay.
television. That's good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and you talk about people sad on the inside and stuff. You know, I spent a little bit of time with Robin Williams, you know. And
Oh God, that breaks my heart.
yeah, but his comedy was definitely a 4-inch piece of plexiglass between him and the world. You know, and he was just, because when you saw him when he wasn't on and he hung out, he was almost shy. There's no other way to, you know, say, hey man, what's going on? You know, he's just kind of. I once asked, who was it? Richard Pryor. You know, what's it like being so famous and getting so heat? When you walk on stage and you're Richard Pryor, he says, you get 4 free minutes. After that, you better be funny. You know, he says it only lasts so long. Okay, so I'll play another drop here just so we have something to look at, and then it'll give me a good lead in. You know, a little countdown to a lead in here. Let me find something else here. Here's Poppy Cheney. Let's throw him up there. Okay. Oops, wait a minute. Almost made a big mistake. Okay, first thing I gotta do is
My
go
ears are
here,
crooked.
and then hold on, and then put this here. Okay.
You need ears, Money.
Okay, here we go.
Hi there. How's it? Poppy Cheney here. When I'm done with flying and I have both feet on the ground, I watch the Daily Pidgin live. Aloha.
And we're back with Dani Girl. And thank you so much, James, for introducing us and bringing her to the program. Man.
Oh, she's an amazing person. I love her very much, and she's helped me out with a lot of things. So.
And also other people, I understand.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm starting the timer. Click! There we go. Ooh, we got them. Garen Ball-Barons. And speaking of Garen Ball-Barons, thank you so much, Dani, for being on the Daily Pidgin.
Thank you. And speaking of Garen Ball-Barons, I had a friend from the mainland ask me to explain what that meant, and I did not know what to say.
I can explain to you very, very.
Can you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
When we play agates, or what they call marbles, right? There's this one technique where all the marbles are here, and you take your bambucha, your biggest marble,
Yeah, bambucha.
right?
I still have mine.
And you fire it into the middle of the pack, and you try to break their marbles or knock them out. But what some people did is to guarantee that they bust the pile, they get a ball bearing. And they take, so now they call them the Garen ball bearing. Boom!
Oh my gosh. That is just like light bulb just went off. Thank you.
And as a kid, that's where I learned spam. I didn't know when you play marbles, you go spam. I thought it was spam, but it's span, right?
Yeah,
with
it's
an
the
N.
span of your hand, but we say spam.
Yeah, so that sounds like spam. What is spam? And they go, spam, you do this to your marble.
Get all kinds like that, you know.
What is hamajang? Where did hamajang come from?
Well, hamajang, I don't know that it's a Pidgin word that means basically hamajang jang, right? What meant drunk, meant all KK and kind of hamajang. So when you was hamajang jang, you couldn't handle, and then hamajang became synonymous to disoriented or mixed up or whatever. That's all I know. I think Keone Nunes would have a better answer to that.
Hamajang, that makes a lot of sense.
My mainland friend, she's like, my mainland friend, she's like, Pidgin is so violent. It's like choke and grind and bang and shoots and pound.
No, it's not.
Like, why is it so violent?
You know where choke came from? Where they, get choke people or get choke cars. Okay, fishermen, when they went fishing, right, they would fish a hole, and when the whole fish tried to escape and go through a small passage, there were so many of them, they would choke the hole. So they would say, I goes, how's the fish? Oh, bro, I get choked fish. Because get so many, they all don't fit through the
That's
passage.
awesome. My mind is blowing. It's like my whole life I never knew.
I'm sponging all of this knowledge.
I know, right? It was just like we were talking.
Well,
we were talking about akole the other day. We're like, akole actually doesn't mean what we think it meant. It's alemo is your butt, but akole, is the puka, akole puka, right? Like, so a wet akole brand brings on a whole different thing now. When you know that, you're like, now I know why they created those seats.
Somebody, either that or somebody got a white.
Somebody was in traffic on the H1 and they needed the wet akole seat,
I know. I never liked the name of that brand, and they were successful. But I went wet okole. I mean, it's just,
wait, what? What does that mean?
Well, okay. Here's another one on the okole line. You've heard people say hana okolele, right?
Yeah.
When
Mama made a babe.
Yeah, but. Okay, hana means make in Hawaii, right? And what they're saying when they say hana okole, they're saying make okole. In other words, make a. You made, like when people say, hey, you make a, and I'm saying a instead of, ASS, right? But hana okole meant literally make a. So
and you can tell where somebody's from by how they sing that song too. Like if they're from Maui, it's different than how they sing it here.
You
ever notice that?
I never thought about that.
It's all
different.
different.
Do you know the Maui version?
Oh, we did a video on this not too long ago. There was
the dialects.
There was the one with who's could
I
tell
don't know
you
any second verses.
There's like 3 different versions of this. I'll find the video and send it to you because we realized it one day when we posted our version, and then Maui and Kauai were like, wait, we have a version.
Yeah. Okay, so to finish up on social media, comedy is what a lot of people use to take the stress out of their lives, and you're doing comedy on social media. How's that for a segue?
Yes, and that is exactly what we're trying to do because we understand like there's so much negativity. This was like my mission from the beginning was always that like we wanted to put out things that were going to like shine a flashlight in the dark kind of thing because there's a lot, especially now, dark social media is very, very dark. It's very, very negative, and like I feel like honestly we're kind of a minority in that sense right now. Like there's very few people that are just putting out positive content because it doesn't do as well as the really bad stuff. And like we were talking about like this earlier that comedians, a lot of the comedians I know are a lot of them suffer from depression, and they've had all kinds of issues, and their comedy is their kind of form of therapy, and even at a stress reaction to anxiety. Because when I go into a room and I'm stressed, I'm like joking, and no one would ever know. Like inside, I'm like, but it's because, like you said, like Robin Williams said, he had this kind of plexiglass between him and this. But when you saw him in person, he was very different because he turned on when he was in front of people, probably because he was having, some kind of insecurity
And the saddest part is the worse things are, the more people turn to comedy. We're kind of like this reverse economic indicator to how well things are going,
It's true.
So we got about
Entertainment
30
is crucial.
seconds left here. So anything you want to say before we go back to the regular internet, but on television here, how can people get in touch with you?
Basically 808 Viral on all the platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. My Instagram is Daniela Rock, so it's Daniela ROX. I post a lot of like cat videos. So like if you don't like cats, then
Well, you know what,
probably
Dani?
we go to 808 Viral.
Thank you so much for being here, and we
No,
hope to
thank you
have
for
you
having
back
me.
again.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching, gang.
Thanks, guys.
Aloha. Okay.
KHON Shaka.
Yeah. Have you seen, put your fingers in your ear. I used to do this early on. Hey, bro, get plenty shaka. You ever seen the Samoan shaka?
Wouldn't it be 2 thumbs?
No, it's the Portuguese shaka.
The baby shakas, baby shaka,
I
and
can't
then
do that. You know the baby
yeah,
shaka?
the baby shakas.
I can't, the baby shaka. Yeah. Okay, so now we're just on the internet and the pressure is off. Yeah. There we go. How long have we been on? See, you know what? We've been clocking in on about an hour and a half with bala'awing in between and the TV show part.
That's what I'm saying. When we start talking, we're gonna take up the time.
Well,
Yeah, it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Comedy can put things bugging us in perspective. Well, that started with the court jester. He was the only one that could get away with teasing the king.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
True.
Go
The
ahead.
British have a term like taking the piss out of something. So we make fun of things. You taking
Yeah,
the
you
piss
take
out of it, like
the anger out of it is what they mean by that, right?
yeah, it's true.
That's true. Look at it. Thanks, James, for introducing Dani Girl to us.
Aww.
How cute is that? Darlene
cute.
and Rick S. They're on the mainland, of course, but they've been watching the show for 4 years. We started this show, I guess, 2016
15 or 16?
15, 16, something like that. And it's interesting. Here's the story. I was doing just produced bits and putting them out, and then one day I went, "The heck is this button for?" Oh, hey. Am I on live? Literally that. Oh, really? Oh, and then people started popping up on the chat and stuff, and I'm going, oh, yeah, hold on. Wait. And then we did it from that day, 500 days in a row. And
I remember seeing you testing your stuff at one point. You were on like, I'm just trying this out, guys. Can you see this? Can you see that?
We call them Black Hat sessions. Yeah. In fact, I had a video of the evolution of the sets. I wonder if it was. Let me see if I can find that. Do you have any questions for Dani while I'm looking for this?
I talk to her all the time. So
We're always chatting. He's so cute. He came to my house the other day for a video, and he showed up to the door at the front of the house where my parents are, and he's so cute because I heard my dad across the house, and then I was like, oh, I didn't tell them anybody was coming over, and here comes this like 7-foot Samoan, and I said, oh my God. I was like, how did that go? Did you scare my dad? He goes, no, I know to stand back really far when I go to a door so I don't intimidate anybody. I'm like, that is the sweetest. And my dad said that. He's like, oh, he was really far away. I'm like, oh, he was trying to make himself smaller.
And then he told me, oh, just go around the back. I was like, I don't know about that because it looks different for me to sneak around back somebody's house.
Hey, let me show you. Let me show you this little video I put together. It's the evolution of the set and it starts with the first day I went on. So here, let me cue this up here. Okay, and then put this here. Okay, here's the evolution of the Daily Pidgin show. See,
You're
and
really
it's
good at this.
interesting.
Where are you guys? Where are you guys like actually? Like,
I'm sorry?
What? Where are you guys actually? Like, what town are you in right now?
Oh
What
no,
side of the
we're
island?
in Mililani.
Oh, Mililani.
This is the master bedroom in my house slash studio, right? I kind of took it over, you know. But what's good about it is there's a bathroom, you know what I mean? So if I have guests, you know, it's right there. You know, that's why you hear my dog and, you know, and I try to keep the camera off this door so you don't see my wife and stuff walking by, but, you know. Yeah, it's been working out really good. Look at this. Rick says, change is good. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, you got a dog. I got to get you one of those toys. Yeah, James, gonna give him one of those new local themed toys.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
This girl makes toys for local, like one's a Lao Lao that actually opens up and it's got a squeaker toy in the middle. Oh, she's such a genius. She did a Manapua truck that opens up and has
Yeah.
like the Manapuas inside that are all squeakies.
Yeah.
For dogs?
Yeah.
Dogs.
Oh, that's good for local dogs. Hey, Ellen here says, Andy and James had a great night, and Danny girl, you good, and know you as well as it was great to see all my favorite Hamajangers.
I love that.
Hamajang
Thank
gang.
you.
Heck yeah, we the crazy Hamajang. And you know what's funny, and this is what makes me feel exceptionally well. The Hamajang gang, you know, the show got real popular, of course, during COVID when nobody could go out and do anything, right? So the gang really got to know each other and stuff. And then after COVID, they started flying to each other's states and meeting. And
Oh, man,
you know
that's
what I mean?
cool.
Yeah, like you know. Miles is in Boston and actually flew here to hang out, right? And then different people. Anyway, that was
so cool.
Hey,
That's
and
amazing.
here's one more. And you being a videographer, you'll appreciate this, right? And again, this is you know, if anybody has a life, you don't feel like you got to hang out. We're just rapping at this point. But do you remember that picture of the turtle that we saw?
Yeah.
The turtle eating the thing, right? I did this thing, send me a picture of your pet, right? So Cindy Krause has a turtle. So she's standing in her yard, you know, holding her camera and shooting down on her turtle, right? And I said, do me a favor, Cindy. Get down on the ground and put that camera right in the turtle's face. Let's see what that looks like. And that was the video. Everybody went, wow. you know?
Wow, it's huge. You ever notice how many missing turtle like posts there are on the internet? How do they go missing so quickly? Like you feel like if they were gone, you would just find them like 10 feet away.
Oh no.
You ever notice
no.
so many missing turtles? Like they're like, I'm missing my turtle. How did your turtle escape?
Somebody's
Why is it
having
so
soup.
far away?
Somebody's
No, you know
having
what
soup.
it is? You know, I don't know if you heard this story in Hawaii. You know, what's the popular pet a lizard that everybody had?
Gecko?
Jackson
Oh,
chameleon?
Yeah,
oh,
Jackson chameleons.
chameleon.
Okay, Jackson chameleons. A pet store brought 4 of them in. There were no Jackson chameleons in Hawaii. And this guy, when he got them, they look all boss up because of the traveling, right? So he put them in his yard, seeing, I can keep an eye on them. They move so slow, right? He turned around, he went, they were gone.
Gone.
And those are the 4 Jackson chameleons that are responsible for all of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a true story. And what my point to that is, just because they move slow, you go, they can't get away from me. They're too slow.
Oh, is that why?
That's why. So the turtle thing is, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they're, you know, on TikTok looking at 808Viral, right? And turn around, boom, they're gone. That's it.
So funny.
Oh, okay, gang. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Coming up, we did an hour and 30 minutes. That's par for the course. Anything you want to say on the way out, Dani?
No, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on your show. Like I told you earlier that I feel like I've done a lot in my life, but my dad was never so proud of me when I told him I was coming on your show. Like it felt like that was the most thing he's ever been proud of. But yeah, I'm so just like blessed. Love you. I love all the things you do. And any way I can help your show, just let me know.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, you can buff it out on your social platforms there.
Yeah,
and,
I
you know,
will.
see if
Absolutely.
We'll get a few more hits, right? And
For
here's
sure.
Mad Statter. Mad Statter, we call her our spin-off. She was just the Hammajanger, you know, and you know, chatting, and then she sent in a drop, and everyone went, that voice. Are you kidding? And we said, you got to start your own show. And she started her own show. I think she's on over 200 episodes now on Twitch.
Nice.
Yeah, and she's doing
She's got a nice voice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In fact, you want to hear it? I
Yeah.
have a... Okay, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can
Now
find
I'm
this.
intrigued.
Yeah. Okay, I got to go to drops. And then, wait, let me do a search.
Someone just texted me wanting to know what pigeon words you don't hear that much anymore. I said, like wapia jaw. You don't hear that one too much anymore. Yeah.
Don't even start me on pigeon words you don't hear anymore. You know what I mean? Hamajang is one of them.
Yeah. Chocho lips.
Givom.
Kilawifa.
Kilawifa.
Oh, I haven't even heard that one.
Kilawifa. Oh, brother, you get that Kilawifa, you bugger. Okay. So, here's Mad Statter. Now, this won't make sense because I think she talks about it being in the morning, right? But again, I have to do this and do this, right? And then bring Mad Statter in here like this, and then publish.
Aloha, Hamajang Gang. Mad Statter from Seattle. It's time to start your morning. Let's check our checklist. I've got my coffee, and I've got my Daily Pigeon Live.
That.
Yeah, she's definitely got the voice.
Oh, that is.
I thought she was going to go into the traffic report and everything, like it sounded professional.
Yeah.
We've got our morning traffic announcement.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's and again, there's so many other people that are just so wonderful in the Hamajang Gang. What's this?
Her Dani's missing.
Huh?
The video, Dani's missing. No, the video.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the shot?
The shot. Sorry, okay.
Yeah, the video. Oh, what are you talking about?
I'm learning.
Let's go to the 3 shot. Yeah. Real quick on the way out here, Dani. How much video background did you have? Because everything you do is on the video. You know, I mean, who called the shots? Directed?
I did pretty much all of it. Like I have a photojournalism major with a minor in technical communication. So I went to school for it. And yeah, so I'm not a tech gadget freak for like, I'm not really into gadgets. I actually used to work for people that had such a low budget. So I know how to put things on like quickly and really affordably. So just,
Hey,
I mean, I was always.
Speaking of gadgets, let me see if I never use this shot, but just when people who are wondering about studios and stuff, let's see if this works. Hold on.
You have a bird's eye camera. I know, I love it. I love it. And you're such a gadget freak because you have like, I mean, I that overwhelms me just looking at it.
Yeah. I love it, you know. And I always tell people, you know, if you like puzzles, you'll like this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny too because she always scolds me about my videos. Stop wearing those white shirts. You
yeah,
gotta
I made
color.
them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, white balance.
You were wearing like khaki. You were wearing all this brown and like, and your background was yellow. I was like, you look like you're in jail. Like all you guys look like you're in jail. Like, you know. And now he looks. No, it's brightened up so much. It looks so different now. It's good.
Like I said, I'm learning.
Yeah. Did you ever? And just it's not. We don't talk that often. But did you see that talking about jail? That thing I did about the guys in jail. Oh, what's this? See the chat. See the chat. Okay. Nani bat phones me when I'm. Some pigeon words can't you use in social media because some pertain to underwear. Well, BBDs.
BBDs.
Yeah, BBDs, right? Do you know where BBDs came from?
No, I was just going to ask that. I'm like, do we have time? That's great.
Well, no.
That's another one.
A popular underwear in Hawaii at one time was BVD.
Oh,
you've seen that brand. So, but instead of saying, "Oh, what are you wearing your BBDs?" they'd say BBDs instead of BVDs. That's where it came from.
It's cool. I was around when that was created.
Oh, were you? Oh, that's
trying to
cool.
explain pigeon to people, like it was another one that was no can handle Randall. I had to try to explain that to somebody. Like I think it just rhymed, and some brother was like, "Oh, it rhymed. That sounds good."
Just like false crack medevac.
Yeah,
it just
false crack
rhymed. And he just added it.
Yeah.
Or how come like when we're fighting, it's all about food? Like like beef or soup. Like why do we always like have those terms when like it doesn't make any like you can't explain it to somebody if they're asking about it.
Because
I think
nothing
like
else works. You can't, like if you build models, you can't say, so what, bro? Glue.
Plus, you have to say beef. You cannot say so. So you got to say beef because you can't say chicken because then you be chicken. You can't say pork because that sounds too much like sex. So beef was the only. You can't say, well, you like poultry. Doesn't work.
I think it comes from you have a beef with somebody. Right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Or Dakine is another one that I'm just like,
yeah.
I said, when you're local and someone says Dakine, we are psychic almost and can know what you mean, even if there's 30 things around the room. Like somehow we're psychic and we know what Dakine means. You just know. You can't explain it.
Hey, bro, Dakine came with Dakine. Oh yeah, he been Dakine. What and what? He was with Dakine or what? Yeah. Wow. And where they went? Oh, over by Dakine. Oh, without me.
My favorite is was the how come when I stay calm you stay cool?
Oh, that's rap.
Yeah, that's still one of my favorites.
Yeah,
that's
or how come everything's a question? Like when I first went to the mainland to college, they're like, "Why are you always asking a question?" Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Like it's I didn't like. Are you from Canada?
Yeah, or answering your own question. Okay, here's my jail video. Now take a look at the green screen on this. This is all done in green screen right here in this room, right? But check this out. This is 1 minute long, okay? And Hamajang Gang, indulge me. I know you've seen this a million times, but here we go.
Ozzy, my name is Clyde Akama, and I get one question just for the brothers out there. Bruh, are you having trouble meeting the kind semi-good looking wahine, the kind understand how you talk, no mind sit on a beach, watch you surf for hours, and no scared pit bull? Then you gotta check out Akama Dating, the website designed just for the brothers. Now, normally I will put pictures of the wahine up on the screen right now. But I know this the kind daily pigeon and I don't like scared of kids. So, if you, like meet the kind wahine, can fix car, cook chicken hacker, and Garen ball bearings gonna back you up if you scrap, then check out Akama Dating. And remember, we take cash, post-dated checks, and EBT card. Mahalo.
Wow, that green screen is good. You look like you were really in jail.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah,
it was really
right
good.
here, bro. Right here. Anyway, Dani, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
We'll let you go.
Good fun, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. And Hamajang Gang, thank you. Nani Aloha, great job on the bat phone. And also Devin, who had to take off. C. Honda, all our moderationists, and everybody who maybe chatted and maybe I turned off all the alerts so it wouldn't be going bing, bing, bing in the middle of Dani's interview. So thanks to you guys. And we're going to take off. Aloha.